Looks like I tried a few times. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your middle name? You got a weird one?
Yeah, it's Bailey.
Not Bailey. This is Bailey.
It's for real Bailey.
It's Bailey Mercer.
You didn't know mine was Bailey?
Mine's Scott Wayne. What's your weird middle name? What do you got?
Do you have a clinkety clankety?
Joseph.
Joseph. It's the whitest.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Named after my grandpa.
Joseph or Michael? Which one do you want? I'll take Andrew.
Cheers, buddy.
Chili buzzed.
Billy Buzz. So, you made it back from the craziness of Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, it was,
Barely.
like I said, I saw the cop car on fire. And I said, well, good thing I'm at work. Never thought I'd say that before.
When that was that?
It was the last week?
Was that in... No,
It was the
Casey?
day we did the podcast that didn't work out.
Yeah, it's
This
been
was
a week ago. It's been last week.
Yeah. And then it was
There's
like...
been a lot of cop cars on fire.
You...
It's kinda like,
Jeez.
which one are you guys talking about?
Haberdasheries.
No, yeah.
It does taste like apple pie.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's good.
Yeah, that shit was kind of crazy. No lie.
Well, because you were like, I'm going to go down there. And I was like...
They had snipers
Be
on the
safe.
roof, and Tanner still wanted to go.
Yeah.
That's badass.
No, we went down there and so like my girlfriend and I were gonna go, and we were gonna go early in the day, but she ended up she was out like gardening and shit all day and got too hot, like sunburnt, and then
She's like, I'm not going back.
had asthma, like an asthma attack and stuff, so she had to take
Okay.
an inhaler. But I like
Okay.
still wanted to go out, and my friend just like messaged me and we he's like, I'm just coming, like, to pick you up. Just pick me up. We went down there. And at this point, it was after the curfew or whatever.
What was that, 8 p.m. or
Yeah,
whatever it was?
8 or whatever, yeah. So, like, it was super, like, gnarly because they had the whole plaza area, like, closed down.
Yep.
So, like, there's cops just lining the whole area, right? And, like, they're just, like...
Excellent.
But they're just chilling.
Right.
Like, they're just blocking it off like they would for a parade or, you know, any other event that would be downtown.
Mm.
And so, like, they let us walk right on by them. This is after, like, we showed up after the curfew.
Okay.
And they let us walk right on by. And then we got down to the middle area. I think it was, like, Main and Cleaver or something. Like right there, like one of the intersections, and it was just like these cops were just in a box formation, and like these cops had riot gear, like gas, rifles with like the bags.
Okay, the
The
real
beanbag
like-
rifles.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
well,
use those in the prison.
yeah, and they're
Goodness.
supposed to like
Intense.
shoot them at the ground, right?
No.
No, you're supposed to. Everyone keeps posting online that they're supposed to bounce off the ground to like then hit you.
That shit can break bones.
Because you can straight up, if you get hit in the head, you can knock your head
From
off.
point
Like,
blank,
yeah, I
you
guess
can.
that's true.
From
Yeah.
point blank range, yeah. But they have certain shotguns. It's not like a regular shotgun. They've got certain tactical shotguns made for less than lethal rounds like that.
Oh.
So it's not like
I
yeah,
don't
it'll
know.
break your bones if like you're right in front of me, and like I hold it to your skin. Yeah, you could break some ribs, but
yeah,
it's not-
but regardless,
From a
it was
range
gnarly
now.
just for the fact that like they had like the guy with the gun, like they had several guys with these guns, and like they would like have someone right next to them just feeding them bullets, like they would
Beanbag,
literally.
beanbag, beanbag.
Yeah, they would literally. They just keep like handing them,
Beanbag.
and like I literally watched the dude like
Karen's
he
over there
had,
playing hack
had a
and
full
sack.
clip. You can see the full clip, like all his bullets in there and everything on the side, like his extra bullets, and the dude's still trying to hit him more. Like
You're
they were just
I'm
like
full,
wanting
bro.
to.
I got the beanbag.
Yeah, no, I saw him
Beanbag,
like wave
beanbag,
him off,
beanbag.
and like no, I'm like I'm good. I got all what I need. But like these dudes are like grabbing these things, like they're fighting for their life when no one else is armed. And like anyway, then letting us pass, and then we get into the middle, and all these cops are like ready for war. Like it was like
Yeah.
being put in a boxing ring. Like they wanted it to happen, you know. Like you say, oh, you can't come down here at 8:00 tonight, even though we have all the streets blocked off, so
Yeah.
there should be no harm or no foul. No cars are going to hit you. Nothing could happen except for cops shooting tear gas, throwing tear gas
Throwing
on
tear
you.
gas.
Well, you
And, like-
gotta understand. Like from what I've seen in the videos, Like, there were people that were, like, surrounding cop cars, throwing stuff at them and everything, trying to
Yeah, it was
purposely kill the cops because of this.
Yeah,
So
right.
they-
But how many of
they
those
didn't even
were
do anything.
white people that were literally just inciting violence? Like, so much of it is like there are rioters and looters and pieces of shit out there trying to piggyback off of what's going on, and there's people protesting the killing of people in the street. Like, there's two different things, and the media wants it to be the same thing because it's so much easier when things are black and white.
Yeah.
People don't actually have to think about what they're doing in their lives. If it's either, oh, well, I'm doing something right or I'm doing something wrong, you can very easily say, oh, I'm on the right side. You know,
Right,
like,
but if you guys are all protesting together and you're, like, let's say you didn't loot anything, why would you want to, you know?
no, we literally, so, like, anyway, we
but
got
if people
down
next
there.
to you are, how are they going to know that you weren't doing it? If, like, everybody beside you was a group of looters or whatever, and you just happen to be next to them, how do they know that you're not involved? That's all I'm saying. Like, there'd be no way to differentiate, so I see why they were on that stuff.
But literally flip that on the cops. But they literally have military weapons. Why? I don't know. Because they don't have the same training as military professional or personnel. Like,
Yeah, it was. I forgot what they described. Well, I was watching. Maybe it was Joe Rogan or someone else. But I was watching, and it was kind of just saying, like you just said, like a boxing match. Like, don't go out till 8. We're gonna arm ourselves in the middle of in the center. Don't go out here and be crazy. And then it was kind of like people took it as kind of like a challenge. And then I was at work, and
well, also these are the people that are supposed to be caring about you, and protecting the community. And that's not what the police are really doing anymore. Like, they're stopping people that are selling weed, smoking weed, kids trying to have sex in the park, or, you know, like all these like dumb little these dumb little offenses that, like, can change a whole person's life. Like, you can go to jail for these little things.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't matter. You need to be catching people raping children, fucking selling meth. Like,
not us.
Like,
not the teenage bangers or the teenage.
I mean, like,
well, so you're on board, right? You say you wouldn't do it, but if weed was on board, you'd be like, yeah, tax it.
Yeah, I wouldn't smoke it for personal reasons, you know, like, just mental illness runs in the family, and you know, so if I ever smoked it, there'd be a higher chance that it could get me back. But I think they should legalize it.
And that's so
stupid
smart.
not to.
And that's so smart. Like, you've educated yourself
exactly
to know what your family history is, and that it's not good for you. But you also see that everyone can do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
I don't think it's bad. I think that's
what America is supposed to be founded on. Is, like, you're a grown-up adult. Hopefully, your parents and the community around you raised you well enough to know not to harm yourself or other people.
Yep.
And anything you do that is not harming other people or yourself should be okay.
And if they put a sin tax on that,
oh man!
If they put a sin tax on marijuana and just made it recreational instead of just medical, so many people, bro. Yeah. So many people would have jobs.
It'd be ridiculous.
Right now. It'd be stupid.
Well, and then, so for example,
we would know China's shit.
Well, for me, I wouldn't. So yours is family history.
Yeah.
You looked it up. You don't want to do that.
Well, my birth mom.
Very smart.
My birth mom did it, and she was messed up from it.
Right. For me, it'd be like, at least in certain, I don't know where it's legal, but like here, the employer can tell you, we don't want you to smoke weed because the employer has the right to do so. And then you can just go find an employer who can
But why do they have the right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying, is like,
well, I mean, if I start a business,
why do
I don't
corporations
want you to do
have
that.
more rights than humans? Like, yeah, but like, you have the right to tell me, like, yes, do not come to work high. If you come to work high, I will fire you.
Right.
But like,
I get that.
What I'm doing on my, like, if I can go drink on my days off.
Exactly. Oh, nice. Yeah.
I can drink when I get off. Like, I could leave the parking lot and go to a bar in the same parking lot even.
Right.
And start drinking. I can even clock out at work and go sit at the bar and have drinks. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, there was.
So like, why is pot so bad? It's just another thing. Like, I can go have it. I can literally smoke cigarettes at work if I smoke cigarettes.
If you really want to get rid of the drug dealers, the best way to do it would be to legalize it. You no more have shady shit. You're not going to get wet in your pot anymore. You're going to get it from an actual company. Are you going to go to your buddy's house, or not even buddy? You're going to go down to the bus station or whatever and buy some pot from, you know, some dude in a trench coat? Probably not. If you could buy it at Walmart, I'd probably get Walmart weed if I were to smoke, you know? That would eliminate a lot of the drug dealer problems. It really would.
Well, and then like you said, the cops then can handle actual problems. instead of having to worry about teenagers smoking weed.
Right,
and again, I've been caught having the casual teenage sex in the car, okay? But it's very easy. You just wipe the windows and go, just having a talk, officer. They don't believe you, by the way.
No, they don't. But, like, yeah, there's
just... I got caught once.
Why do we have so many Karen cops? Like, why do we have a bunch of Karens as cops? Like, chill out.
No. I mean, you can't, like, put all of them in a box like that. Like, there's some cops that are, like, want to be Billy Badass or some that want to be petty. But then there are other cops, you know, that have seen me speeding and drag racing and stuff like that. You know, and then they're like, hey, man, you're being stupid. This is your warning.
I'm booking you.
Well, right.
You know, they'll let you off with a warning as long as you're respectful.
You're right. Like, there definitely are respectful and good cops. That's not what we're, like, when you say generalizations, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. It can look bad on any
group. A handful of bad ones, though, that make them all look horrible, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
well,
is.
Like, even me being, like, a white person, like, I shouldn't, like, I'm scared, like, when a cop gets behind me. Just because, like, not that I feel like I'm going to get beat up.
It's the classic thing when a cop's behind you. You're
just like, I don't want to have to get a ticket for something stupid. Like, okay, I was speeding with nobody else on the fucking road.
Right.
Like, I had an example. I was driving home from Oklahoma. I had just took my friend to college for a visit, and we were driving back, and it was, like, later at night. All those roads from Oklahoma to Pittsburgh are just, like, windy back roads.
Yep, I've gone to Oklahoma many times.
Like, and the car got in behind us, like, right after we left the town or whatever. Straight followed us for like 30 minutes, like, on these back roads. Like,
those are the worst. You're like, am I?
There's no way we were in the same town.
Were you in a small town when you did this?
Yeah.
Which one, Osawatomie or Ottawa?
No, we were in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma? Okay. Yeah, see, small town cops like Osawatomie and Ottawa, they're the worst. I've had one run me off the road before.
Oh, dude.
For no reason. Dude, Osawatomie cops are twisted.
Do you remember?
I don't know what breed they are.
Oh,
they're nuts.
Some of them were literally selling meth.
Dude, the commissioner was like the meth kingpin.
Yeah, he literally went to jail. Yeah, Butters for selling meth.
Dude, his son was an awesome person.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you be if your dad was selling meth and he was a cop?
Mexico and everything. He would take your shit.
The article was like, meth kingpin comes out and it's just his dad's picture. I go, I've seen that guy in my swim meets. Like, I know that dude.
Yeah, but
I was like,
Osawatomie cops and Ottawa cops. I've never drove past Ottawa that I didn't get pulled over. I didn't use a turn signal on my girlfriend's parking lot. I got pulled over. I don't know why, but those two are the only cops that I'll get nervous as fuck if one's behind me.
Well,
aside from that,
I was driving home from Oklahoma. This dude followed me for like 30 minutes, and then like
I
I crossed over one of the yellow lines because like it was like a curvy, windy road that I can't see around the goddamn corner with someone that has a flashing. Like, if someone's coming at you, you can't see.
You can't. Because
I crossed over
just the two-lane highway?
After following me for 30 minutes, I crossed over the yellow line, like, once.
And then, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Driver.
He fucking pulled me over, and he was like, yeah, there's just a lot of drunk drivers out here on this road. Just, like, basically, like, saying, I thought you were drunk, and, like, I was pulling you over just because I thought I had a chance. I'm like, no, I'm literally driving my friend home from a fucking college visit.
Yeah, I'm not drunk.
What I think
like, I'm not drunk. Like, just leave me the hell alone. Like,
what I think it is that you know, they kind of ruin it when they give cops quotas. Now, in certain small towns, they have a quota they have to fill, and that's why you get pulled over more frequently, and that's why I think they're a bit more go-getters in that sense.
It is.
I think if they got rid of the cop quota worldwide, you wouldn't have those issues.
Quotas are just bad most of the time. Like,
exactly.
Especially with people that you're supposed to be protecting and serving, like, adding a quota, like, now you're enforcing.
Right.
Like, but what are you enforcing? The only thing you should be trying to enforce is the safety of the community.
You're just enforcing fear.
Yeah, if I'm not hurting the community, like, why should I be scared that I'm going 10 miles over the speed limit on a road with no one on it?
Yeah.
Like, out in the boondocks. Like, that road between Paola and Osawatomie, that back road, cops just sit out there. It's just, it's the biggest trap when you go from that 40 down to that 30 into Paola, right by that burger stand. Dude, those cops just sit right there by that park.
They hook it around, and it's horrible.
They're intense in Osawatomie.
Yeah.
Well, I got pulled over.
Well,
I got pulled over between here and Spring Hill, and it was a Spring Hill cop because at the time I was vaping out the window, and he thought it was like I don't know why, but I had an '03 Camry. It was silver. He saw fumes coming out of the window, and he goes, "Weed. I know it. He's vaping in there." So he pulled me over, and he went like this. He looked in my car, and goes like, and you could smell. It's obviously not weed. It smells like strawberry lemonade. And I'm like, "Was it this, officer?" He goes, "Yeah, you were just going a little fast." I was going 64. It was 65. And he's like, "Oh, you're good to go." And then just let me go. That was my most recent pullover. And I'm
the first time I got pulled over was in Osawatomie. It was like 2 a.m. I was driving a girl back home. Like, she was at my house.
We get no.
We were at my house, and I lived out in the country. So I had to drive her back into town.
Yep.
And then drive back to my house.
They're like, "This seems kind of fishy." You go in and out, in and out. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was going... There's that stretch in Osawatomie right by the whistle stop where it goes from 20 to 30.
Yep.
And I saw the 30 sign, and I just fucking floored it up to 30. Like, I was probably like 15 or something, you know, like going through that 20.
Yeah.
And then I saw the 30 mile an hour sign, and I just went boom, boom, and just like floored it because I had a stick shift. So I just put it in gear and just fucking flew. And these cops are just like, woo!
You can't pay Fast and Furious in a Ford Focus. You can't. They won't let you. Fast and Furious can't do it in a Ford Focus. That's the lesson from all this.
I had a Ford.
What, Escort?
I swear to goodness,
No,
if you were gonna say it was a Ford Escape, I was gonna be
No,
like,
it was
or like
the-
a Ford, whatever, Ford Focus.
Escort. I drove the Escort.
The Escort. That's
No,
what
it was
it was.
And
It was
I'm
a
big as
Ranger.
fuck, but it was funny.
Ranger.
The Rangers. There you go.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious and Ford Rangers.
Mom.
It had like
I can't fit in those.
It already
I drive
had
those
200,000 miles on it. And I thought I was a speed demon.
Everyone's first car was like the fastest car ever.
Yeah.
No
I
lie.
talked about my car in the parking lot. The
You-
Grand Am GT.
You,
I'm like,
me, Jamie, man. I had a Grand National. You had your Pontiac Grand Am. Jamie had a Camaro, a purple Camaro. Everything was purple on it. It was sick.
dude, that's
he
the
never drove
that is
it.
the biggest disappointment in the car. So he bought it for like $6,000.
Twin turboed and everything. Wasn't it?
Yes, he had I think it was like a flat tire or something. It was something stupid, and it just sat in the garage. And then I think he tried to drive it and blew something, but that car was beautiful. It was.
Speaking of beautiful,
Whoever has
things,
that purple Camaro out there, hit us up. Jamie Silvers used to be the owner of it, or was it his dad?
I swear
Mr.
to goodness he
Silvers.
got it from eBay. Like
Yeah,
Like
he found it on
eBay cars.
Craigslist or some shit. Yeah, or no, police auction maybe. I don't
police
know.
auction.
That's what it was. Yeah. Find
Yeah,
hella
anyway.
good deals on police
Anyway,
auctions.
now when you do research and you find out your car's a piece of shit like mine is, okay, it says GT. I think it's like 190 horsepower. It's a horrible. It's not very fast. I was like, man, I'm gonna totally beat all the people in the parking lot.
I spent my college fund on a Grand National. Winning.
What were you about to say?
I was saying, speaking of beautiful things, you guys seen the PS5?
Oh, good lord, yeah. Immediately.
See, I don't get
it.
Okay,
So
I have a
sick.
habit of when I don't buy it immediately because I'm gonna let the bugs work out. I think I might have to break that rule.
Yeah, no, it
I
looks
saw
so
it.
sick.
Okay. Let him work out.
I got gypped because I saw a video and it was like it said the reveal of the PS5 and it was a dude who just took his PS4 and turned it into the PS5 and I was like you suck as a human being because I watched to the very end of the video and it goes and just said like this.
No, yeah, the
I was like,
PS5
come on.
reveal video was sick. Like, it looked.
I didn't watch the
so
video. I
good.
just saw what it looked like and then the controller and
Oh.
everything.
If you get the chance, it's only like an hour. Like, check.
Did I miss E3?
No, E3 didn't happen this year.
Okay, then who'd
But
they reveal? They just threw it out
PS3, like, or PlayStation just put it out.
there. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I didn't see any like a big announcement, or I just saw the PS5, and I'm like, it looked
Yeah,
like I
PSV
already saw.
or PlayStation put out their own, like, full 1 hour video.
Okay.
And that just shows, like, gameplay of all the new games. Like, there's a new Ratchet and Clank game.
What is it? 4K? Like legit
Yeah,
4K?
yeah, it looks
Like that.
It looks
phone?
Cartoony graphics, like so.
It looks
great,
fucking
does it look
sick.
real?
It looks sick. Like dude, the Ratchet and Clank game they showed, like it looked like actual gameplay. And like, he's just falling through this, falling through the sky basically, and like you could warp into different universes, and it's like seamless. Like you just fall into a hole, and you're in a whole new universe. It doesn't no load times. Nothing.
I love the future so much.
Yeah, dude, it looks so sick. And like
Space Age.
the new,
You know what I mean?
Space
the new
Age.
Horizons game looks so dope. Like I haven't
Is that
played.
the one with the chick and the bow?
Yeah, I haven't played any of the PlayStation like exclusives
Me neither.
since the PS2. Really, so like
Well, they said
because I've just been playing Xbox, but I'm gonna get the PS5 because
How much
looks
is it?
good.
Do you know? Did they
It's
say?
probably gonna be like $500 or $600.
Man, bring back
500 or
Turok.
600. I thought it was $399.
Am I wrong?
It
on
might
that?
be like $499.
Damn,
Man.
man.
You can get behind this, Tanner. Bring back Turok Evolution. Bring that back.
No, don't bring back Turok Evolution. Don't bring back Turok. Just make it better. Make a better version of what Turok was
They
supposed
need
to
to
be.
do that.
Well, that
yeah.
game was great. I saw gameplay of
They
the...
just re-released the first and second Turok on the Switch.
What the hell is a
I'll be
Turok?
down. Dude.
Turok the dinosaur hunter.
X-Men with
the-
dinosaurs.
The
and-
almost like
yeah.
the game that could have been awesome, but like just was
Did you say X-Men?
hindered.
Dinosaur?
Yeah, because they evolve. There's like half dinosaur, half people. It's like Jurassic Park.
You're killing
X-Men,
dinosaurs.
and
Like you're a Native
Call of
American Indian, like killing dinosaurs from the future.
Seems flawless to me.
There's no story. There's no story to like the first like few games,
There isn't. There really isn't.
You just
and then yeah, you just start killing dinosaurs
Yeah, that's a big dinosaur.
and like
Yeah.
trying to travel to new worlds. And then the second one released a multiplayer that's really fun. Like there's like 50 different guns you can play with.
Dang.
There's like 8 characters and like 50 guns, and like you can literally just like there's like pulse rifles and like crazy like
That game
crazy
was fun
guns.
as hell.
But it's really
Well,
fun.
well,
but
I-
this-
If
but
any of
the
the
new
boss
remake they
maps come
made
out,
did
the
not
game-
come with a multiplayer on the second game.
Boo.
So I'm like, what are you doing? That was the best part of the game. Like that's what made the game like buyable.
Well, you said the magic word. You said PlayStation, so I need to get your...
If they
your
updated the graphics though,
They
you
did.
made it a PC game. Like,
excuse
completely?
me.
Yeah. No.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it came out on
I
PC.
need your gamer tag after this podcast.
Okay, I have the Switch right now. That's all I got.
Oh, well, fine.
Well, you got a Switch.
Well, I mean, I have
I have a Switch too.
I have a
actually.
Switch, but I also have like a 360. I just got an NES, and I have a GameCube.
Oh,
Didn't,
yeah, that's right. The game collection.
Turok
That
is
you were talking about.
yeah. Isn't Turok like only a Nintendo thing? Because if PlayStation took it, man, that
No,
would be so badass.
I'm pretty sure it came out on PlayStation as well.
Did it? Because I
Yeah.
remember playing
And
on
I
GameCube, man.
Turok Evolution definitely came out on PlayStation
Okay.
as well, but that game's probably the worst out of all of them.
What? I thought they were all badass, man.
I mean, they're okay. They're repetitive.
Now, I can't go back. Is it?
How are they going to come up with a story plot for that, though?
Well, you're different.
Maybe
but-
they could be like
Dinosaurs,
enigmatic
Native
like that.
Americans. There's so much story that could be.
That's all you got. That's all you need.
You need more than that. You gotta
I'll
dazzle the
play
car in
Also,
front of me. you
it
know?
was
You need
based.
to razzle
It was
dazzle.
based on a comic from the 1950s.
That I
Like,
did not
they didn't
know.
use any of the story from that. They were just like, oh yeah, this very
Native
obscure
Americans,
comic that no one's ever heard
dinosaurs.
of. We're gonna make a video game of it and not give anyone any backstory. You just have to go read the comics.
That's what they did with Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
The old Scott Pilgrim arcade game.
The movie?
Yeah, it
How
was
was
a
it?
comic. It was a video game, then a
I love
comic
that
book.
movie.
No, I thought it was a comic book, then a
It
game,
might have been a comic book, then an arcade.
and then a game, and then a movie.
Yeah,
Which the movie is amazing.
I love that movie.
love that movie. It's a great movie.
It's on Blu-ray. I think.
See, well, do
They're
that with Turok.
They're trying.
You know what I mean?
They're trying to get him to release the Scott Pilgrim game. That would be sick.
That'd be sick.
That'd be dope.
I play that
I can get it on my
immediately.
Switch.
Immediately. I play that in a heartbeat.
It was like based on the movie too.
What do you do
so
that,
it was-
Scott Pilgrim? What's that from?
Okay, what accent was that? Chase has a habit of saying the stupidest things with accents.
All right, it was an accident. Okay, I was like,
It wasn't Borat, so it's okay.
no, yes, that's right. We don't hit each other
we're-
anymore.
We're over it now. We got the Borats out of our system.
But no,
I'm
he asked
sorry
me
to
for
all
a
of our
Mexican
Kazakhstan
accent for
people.
what? To do a
I
Mexican
don't
accent?
know. You said something like, "Oh, my coworker, he's got a real thick Spanish
That's
Mexican
right.
accent."
He's got
and
a
I'm like,
thick accent.
like
And-
what? Because Chase can only. He says the first thing that pops out of his head when he's doing an accent, he can only say that one thing, and he comes up with this. Do it.
So he goes, he told me to give it, just like, give me what
I
first
was like,
thing
yeah,
pops in your
I
head.
can't picture it in my head. If you could,
And
just
I
give
just
me a
went like,
visual.
I went like, hello, welcome to the picnic.
Yeah. I'm like,
I brought my own scoop, and he goes, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, didn't you just ask me to say a Mexican accent?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's why Miguel was the guy at work who showed me the video of the cop car on fire,
yeah.
and then I was like, well, I better check on Tanner's safety.
It
I was like,
was
I was
pretty
like,
crazy down there.
well, and then I saw videos of, I go, what the hell is that? And you see the big tower on the plaza where the Cheesecake Factory is?
Mm.
And I go, is that the Cheesecake Factory? And the people getting pepper sprayed.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
where it was, yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
So I went down there on
I
like...
do in the Cheesecake Factory, my fat ass. You better believe it.
You just eating a cheesecake like, oh, this.
I think we went
I'm
down...
doing this is my right. It's an American.
I think we went down on Sunday. What day did I come do the podcast?
Yeah, it would have been Sunday because my first day back at work.
Yes, yeah. So like we went down Sunday, just me and my friend, and we basically just like went out and sat on the front lines, like just like right in front of the cops, just like with everybody else.
And weren't you skateboarding too?
Yeah, we took our skateboards. Thank
That's
goodness
Tanner.
though. Like
That's Tanner.
both of us took our skateboards because like, I mean they're sadly weapons if they need to be, and they're also shields.
Yeah, you never seen people getting truck slapped?
Like,
YouTube it right now. YouTube
that's kind of
slap.
what
Oh,
it
they
was.
just
Like
hit the
we
trucks
could
to
we could
see you in
protect
it?
ourselves too. It's like you can grab the trucks and like you can hold. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Thank
Hold
you.
it and then just, yeah. And it would,
yeah, you just hold it and like, block if someone's shooting beanbags or if like they threw tear gas at you, you smack it back and without touching it because those things get really hot. But we straight up saw like 4 people get arrested, and then like it was just single people, like people that didn't have a group or like got separated from their group, and like the cops would like rush them like 4 or 5 at a time and just like grab them. And they were all black people, all people that were like
well, and then this
singled
actually is
out.
a good kind of segue because bingo
Have you seen the video yet?
of what?
The George Floyd thing? I saw the events before, and this is where it gets weird.
I haven't seen the video of the murder. Just 'cause
I've seen the
That's
image. and I go,
exactly
what
what
the
it
hell?
was. It was exactly a murder. There's no doubt about
the
it.
image. The
George
image
Floyd?
is
George Floyd was murdered. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, okay.
But like, some people can say he had a heart attack, but to me, the cop should not have been on his neck at all.
His neck was like a U.
Yeah,
It was like completely just like cracked
which is
open.
bad. But what's weird to me is that before that, why would they target him as a black guy? Because if you watch the events prior, there's 3 black people total in the car. He was resisting getting out of the car. He was on drugs. He was freaking out and everything. And the dude has a rap sheet. He was refusing to get out of the car beforehand.
I've never seen anything.
But the other black people who just got out of the car, is that offensive? Black people? I'm not going to call them African American because like they're not all from Africa. I think that would be kind of pigeonholing them. But anyway, so the other black people get out of the car, they get against the wall, everything. They're waiting. George Floyd kind of kicked a little bit and got out of the car.
So they
Which
just said,
then
that guy.
then would be the time to restrain him and everything. Right then would have been the time, in my opinion.
but
But he
professionally
stops.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
he stops
not
doing it.
neck restraint.
God no. But when he stops and he's actually cooperating after, he bucks up a little bit, but nothing too crazy,
because
Right.
he's also being forced out of the car for.
Well,
But I don't think it was a race thing, see, because the other
No.
other black people, they would have been hurt if you think about it logically. And the cop getting him out of the car was also black. So I don't think it was a race thing at all. I think it was just, he pissed off the cop with the bad attitude and the chip on his shoulder, and that cop definitely took it too far.
yes, okay.
That's how I
Bounce
see
back to Tanner. What
No,
were you going to say?
no, I don't know how much of it. Like I said, I haven't watched the video. I don't want to watch someone get murdered. I don't know. That's
it.
just
It's rough.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be rough, and like I'm already
It's rough.
pretty like tore about it. So like I don't need to like.
Well, like I said, the
But-
fact, like you said, you watched the video, definitely murdered. But like I said, I was watching, believe it or not, it was an interview on 95.7 The Vibe. They had a cop from Kansas City do like a kind of interview for like 15 minutes. And it just happened to be that I was driving to get you, that I was hearing it. And he was describing that like within a society that a cop, like being in a cop, like environment is a whole nother society. So like if you're a bad egg, then the cops know you're a bad egg. So if you call for backup, they don't want to be involved in what's happening. And then they found out that the Chinese fella that was his partner, he's like married to his sister or something. So they're all connected. They're connected families.
But the guy getting him out of the car was black and everything, so I don't see how.
It's just weird. It's just the cops associated didn't necessarily want to be involved with this bad apple that they knew about. And the cop in Kansas City estimated like a 5 to 10% like estimation of cops that could be like bad, like generally bad. Like I'm gonna get you bad.
My grandpa, his whole thing, he got out of the military and was like looking for work and stuff, and he ended up working for the KBI, like Kansas Bureau of Investigation.
Oh dang, okay,
and
yeah.
like his whole thing was to find bad cops.
Yeah.
So like, why would there need to be a whole section of people dedicated to finding bad cops if they didn't
because
exist?
nobody's perfect. I mean, like, the
Well,
reason...
exactly, but like that's the thing is like, especially not people that don't have to go get trained. They don't have to do like, why do I have to do more schooling than a cop? Like a cop, like
they don't. They train you as a cop.
Well, no, but like I have a 4-year degree.
Yeah,
cops do not do 4 years. Military
they
doesn't
had
even do
IA
4 years.
internal investigations.
Like
they have constant trainings and stuff like that once you're a cop, over procedures and everything.
Right, but like in these smaller places,
affairs.
like Osawatomie and Paola, like they're not doing a lot of training. Let's be real. They don't even have. Like, have you ever been to like one of the like little like the cop shops? Like, have you ever been in there? There's nothing in there. They don't have a shooting range in there. They don't have.
Certain bigger stations do. They go to their.
Well, yes,
there's one at the lake.
Certain bigger,
there's one at the lake,
bigger
not
places,
there,
but like
outsource that.
they're not doing the amount of training that they need to be doing.
Well, and
like
I'm not gonna like stereotype anything. I don't, not even. But I was walking into the gas station and I go, holy shit! One of the cops was the people who got caught all the time by the cops doing illegal bad shit. And I'm like, how did? I know you didn't go to school. Like I know you didn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's like, I can probably grab 5 of them. I'm not going to name anybody, but I can grab 5 in my mind that I've seen. I'm like, you got a 9mm on your hip and a taser. And I'm like, you used to do so much bad.
Yeah, I went to high school with you, and I know what you've done. And like,
I'm
now
like,
you're a cop.
I'm like this. I'm like, how's it going? And they're like, you know.
They're like, I'm here for the picnic. If that's
Brought
one
my
moral
own
of the
school.
story, if that's one thing you need to know, that's going to be the new stereotype, all right? That's got to be. Like, that's not offensive at all. Mexicans like picnics. It's going to be the new stereotype. You know, how is that offensive? Everybody likes picnics.
It just popped in my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't blame
It's
me.
hilarious that that was the first thing you thought of.
I like picnics.
Who doesn't like picnics? And they're considered. They brought their own scoop. You know what I mean?
They bring me on scoop, but
Who doesn't like picnics? They brought their own scoop for
Well,
ice
and
cream.
then-
That is so cool.
well, and then I don't know. So as I get older, I kind of watch like I like to interview like my grandparents and then my parents and then kind of different levels of where we're at because we're 23, 25. You know, we're getting into some levels of shit that we probably should know about when it comes to our finances and shit like that. And so I saw that the
I just
plaza.
wing it.
Well, I saw that the plaza was under like this riot protection or whatever, and at that same time, I was looking at like, so my grandparents, they have like their house paid off and like their cars paid off, and like they're pretty set at 65. But then the generation after, with my parents, like it's tougher for them, but they still have kind of everything situated. And I'm thinking like, okay, I have a 6-year-old. You know, we're gonna be, you know, Adam's getting married. You know, you in the future, because you guys, Jess knows, she knows.
No, don't bring it up on the podcast. That would be my luck. The one time she listens to our show.
I'll clip it out.
Yeah.
I'll clip it out. But like, so we're getting older, and I was thinking, and I thought, and the one time, because I thought the riots were over, so I was starting to take my money and then invest it every paycheck, and just kind of leave it in my account, and then I was just gonna put it into something big. So I put it into the company that owns the plaza, has been doing great until the moment I put money in there, and then the riots happened, right? And then just completely just tanked everything. And then I was looking, and like, it's so weird, because I don't want to call it like, you know, the world on fire, but like, you know, there's riots, there's the coronavirus, there was people, instead of doing like long-term Warren Buffett investment type scenarios where you predict, he was losing. Like, he lost, like, he sold off stuff, and guess who won? Kids who just took a stimulus check, gambled it, and then just won money. Like they just said, I'll put it in that.
My brother just lost $3,000.
Yeah, so like in
stock market, like during all this shit.
And so you don't know. Like people, they were just like, yeah, I took my stimulus check, put it into a big one was like Hertz, the rental company. They called bankruptcy, which means we're going out of business, or we need to restructure our finances. So people just took their stimulus check, threw it at it, and it just shot through the roof. They sold it off, made a big profit.
Yeah,
it's just a weird time.
The biggest thing we can do right now is go support our local businesses.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
And
so
the
I was
rioting
thinking,
and the looting, you're definitely hurting small businesses. How does that honor George Floyd? You're
Right.
just hurting this. You're hurting the economy.
Yeah,
it just made me super nervous because not only because, like I said, a lot of people, I don't know, it was easy to focus on one thing, which was like the riots and the George Floyd issue, but then the bigger issue comes to be about like how are we going to adjust to being, my parents are 50. What's 50 going to look like for us? Like my kid, when my kid's going to need a car.
Thankfully, I feel like
as we
keep moving forward and progressing in technology progresses, like we're living longer.
Yeah.
And healthier longer. Like my grandma is almost 70, and she's a tank. She's like
Jessica's grandma's 94.
Good Lord.
Still coherent and I'm not shitting. Still coherent and everything.
Like if you take care of your body, like do your exercise, take your vitamins, like really take care of your body, you can live for a long time. And the biggest thing is like I noticed, at least with my grandma, before she passed, that like when you stop being active, it takes a very serious toll on your body.
You can tell.
You can see it. Tell. I literally watched it happen with her over a period of 6 years. Like literally, just like from the time my grandpa passed to like the time that she was gonna die, it's like she was night and day difference. As she started not doing anything, not being active, your immune system starts dying down too, so you keep getting sicker.
Yep.
She would fall over and just get bruised, and it's just just taking care of your body is the biggest thing you can do for just longevity. Make sure you can stay at work and keeping your family.
I forget how.
Well, Newton actually said something like that. Newton's, I believe it's his third law of physics.
What?
Object in motion stays in motion. Object at rest stays at rest.
Yeah, get up,
and
Grandma.
it works with bodies too.
Get up, Grandma. I noticed the same thing too with my grandma when she passed away. Grandpa died. She didn't have, nothing to do.
Well, you telling your grandma fell down the stairs and was just fine at 102 or something like that?
Yeah, and that was with Grandpa there. She was like, I'm fine, Grandpa. And then, sure enough, Grandpa passed away. And then just night and day, just stopped moving, went to a retirement home. And then
she was a tough old lady. I mean, she could beat me at arm wrestling. I'm not even joking. She's got that old lady strength.
Dude, my grandma, she would up till she literally
grip.
Couldn't walk anymore. Her grip, was I'd help her move, help her walk and stuff. She'd grab my hand and put a stranglehold on my hand.
Good God, Grandma.
You know what you don't want? You know what you don't want from an old person? I tell you what you don't want from an old person. You don't want them doing that. And for those of you watching, you don't want them on your chest. You do that, you're breaking your clavicle. People are gonna be like, "Listen here, sir. You gotta give me I need to see the manager. I'll give you the manager, lady. Quit holding me hostage."
Who the hell would do that?
You never see the other? Yeah, they're always.
I'm watching you, Wazowski.
always watch. Yeah, old people always be tapping on stuff.
No, my grandma never tapped me.
They tap. If there's a counter right here and there at McDonald's, I need to see the man. I better go. And if there's no counter, then it becomes you. You become the object. What gets tapped? See. And then they just be tapping right there, man.
I don't know how the hell we got to grandparents, but I was trying to take I was saying, if you look at each, generationally, it's all different mindset. So, grandparents were content with working till they're 65 and then retiring and then dying, right? My parents were I guess that's what we'll do, right? Yeah. And then it's just, it's different. For, even if they don't have anything going, whether it's a video or a podcast or a business like Lit State, something that's not in the works that it's weird. I just don't that's our way of coping with what's going on and dealing with it and understanding that it's a little more difficult than we kind of anticipated. But it hit me because at my work there was a guy, he was a week from retiring. He was 65. And he didn't show up to work. And they called him. He was in the hospital. So he worked his entire life. And he was at 65. He had cancer. 2 types of cancer. Stage 4 lung cancer and bone cancer. basically a death sentence.
Damn.
So he moved to Dallas with his family to live out the remainder of his maybe year. And I was like, it just hit me right in the face. I was like, there's got to be more
It's that short, man.
out there. Like life's so simple, so short, and it was just like it would all hit me like the world's on fire with riots and coronavirus, and it's kind of stressful. But it was just kind of like, I think at least the mindsets of young people that I can talk to, like 30 or under, or 35 and under, it's kind of a similar mindset of like survival. Like I think believe it or not, we get made fun of a lot for being millennials and shit. But I think we're actually really, really like strong and tough, and we can combat this hard time.
Everyone wanted to be like, millennials is just gonna, and like I was even kind of worried like about the kids like younger than me. Like I remember like when I graduated high school, I'm like, man, that class underneath me, like they're gonna be the ones like going to college next year and stuff. Like
for real.
Class underneath better than my class.
But,
Shit.
I mean, shit. we're doing something, guys. Like,
Yeah.
like the shit going out in the streets right now. Like, and that shit's real. Like, it's making change.
Yeah.
Like, Minneapolis is literally getting rid of their police department. Which, not saying that it should or shouldn't happen, but the fact that people are moving and making change in their city. This is what should have been happening all along. Why the fuck are people like in the Senate, in the House, the President of the fucking United States? Why are they not listening to our voices?
Because then
You know what happens when you defund the police in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, I don't like that idea.
Hell no.
Because
I'm not saying defund. Like when I think when people like see the hashtag defund the police and stuff, like when you're seeing that, I think like what I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking get rid of their fucking military weapons, get rid of their fucking like tear gas, that like shit they shouldn't have ever had in the fucking first place, and making them more of community watch. You know, like what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be policing the community, making sure it's a safe place.
There's nothing wrong.
Why do they need guns? Like, not just guns.
Well,
like a handgun.
For riot situations.
Is someone vibrating?
Oh, is that my phone on
Yeah,
there?
it's about to fall off.
It's videoing.
No, I would grab that before it falls. Here's the intermission break. Borat, do you have something to say?
I like the show very much. I'm its only viewer.
I think we lost video.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Still recording on the thing.
Yeah. The computer's fine if it's audio, because I can take that and put it on YouTube with just a picture or whatever. But either way, I'm not gonna.
All right, we're back on video, guys.
All right, we're back.
Sweet.
I don't know who.
Very nice.
I don't know who was calling me, but
You dickwad.
Yeah, poison for Cusco.
I guess
Cusco's poison.
I guess I need to put it on like do not disturb.
I didn't even think about that. I need to go get my new phone.
It was like a number I didn't.
Well,
even know either, so
the tear gas and everything like that should be issued only during riot situations. And in my opinion, I think they're safer than using just regular old guns. Tear gas, it'll get people to quit doing what they're doing, yeah, but it ain't gonna kill them. You know what I mean?
But the thing is,
needle
like,
to throat will kill somebody. Tear gas ain't gonna kill them.
The thing is, like when I was down there, like it didn't need to be used. Like people were literally just standing, like maybe screaming at the cops, but with what's going on right now, like they stand there and take it. Like that's what a protest is. Like you didn't even need to be here. Because also, let me say that even though that first night that I went down there and the second night I didn't get to go down, but all my other friends went when the mayor went down and talked.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes after his talk, they were tear gassing people. Like after the mayor was like, "We're standing with you." We have a black mayor in Kansas City. Like, he's like, "We're standing with you." Like, we're here. And then as soon as he turned and he wasn't in the line of fire, tear gas started raining down on people. Like, it's... So then that... But, like, then I went 3 days later, 4 days later, no cops in sight. Mm-hmm. And everything was more peaceful.
Yeah.
Like, literally no violence. Not a rock. Not a water bottle. Because there's no one to throw it at. There's no cops there. Because they shouldn't ever have been there. It was a fucking protest.
Yeah.
Which you are legally allowed to do.
In a situation like that, I would definitely feel safer with cops personally, because even as a show of force, right? If people are rioting and stuff like that, even with
but there was
stuff
no
like
rioting.
Yeah, just the protest.
It was no rioting. It was protesting, which is
protesting.
legal. We were like
But not everyone's going to be as chill as you. So there's radicals everywhere, and they're extremists on both ends of the spectrum.
Right, but they can do anything any day of the week. Radicals don't
have to be
care.
right
That's
now.
the thing. Like radicals
never know
don't
when
care
they show up. They're
what day
unpredictable.
it is. Like the fact that people are down there, they're just using that as an excuse.
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna use the argument that, oh, but radicals can be down there in the midst of all these protesters, you're right. But there's also snakes in the middle of the police department.
There's
But they
radicals
have
on both
way
ends,
more.
is what
But
I
they
said,
have way more power.
Yeah.
Like these radicals are also, whether we like it or not, are making change. Like the cops don't want to hear the people in the streets that are protesting silently, and these little groups of radicals, whether it's right or not, they are making the change. Like that, it does need it. We can all agree that there needs to be change. Like even my parents are completely right wing, completely Trump supporters. Have always leaned on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have, like always done that their whole life, and like they understand that we need change. They've told me my whole life that our country is probably close to another civil war with itself because the government the government doesn't want to listen to us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but also you're scared of black people, so you don't want to like join together and fight the government, which is literally what we're doing right now.
But the mayor, he's
you just want to complain
Mama.
and sit in the way of change.
right.
You just want to, if you want to sit and complain, sit and complain. Like that might do some help in the with everyone else actually trying to make the change.
Right.
But like
I figured
you have to
now
be a
would
part of the
best
change. You can't just
anyways.
complain about things and then not once they're actually changing, be like, oh, I'm scared.
It's like, I hate that president. Did you vote? I don't believe in voting.
Yeah,
Son of a
dude.
bitch.
Can't say shit.
Yeah.
Those
Son
people
of a
that voted
bitch.
for Harambe.
Yeah.
Like I have way more respect for someone who voted for Trump than someone who
Didn't even like.
It was like-
I don't want that guy.
like-
Did you vote?
I hate
Nah.
Trump, but I didn't vote. Like
I don't believe
okay,
you.
so
I could do something about this. I could be the change. No, I don't want that kind of responsibility.
Yeah, I don't
it's
even
so
know
easy.
that.
You think we would have been
literally-
America if it was
literally-
give me liberty or give me a hangnail?
Literally,
No.
my voting ballot was literally my apartment was right here, and right next door for the people who can see it was the church. Like literally across the street
right across
was the
the
church. Was the church where
It was super simple
where
for
we
me too.
voted.
I'm like, is that where it is? Okay.
They
All
have-
the people.
They have voting literally dispersed all around the city of Kansas City and like all around the United States. Obviously,
I did not know how serious it was.
And now we
but-
have mail-in voting. So I mean,
I'd
we
rather
always
do
had
that than
mail-in
what
voting,
I
but-
found out about electronic voting. There's like, when you do electronic voting, there's like active FBI agents like monitoring the back end of these electronic transfers.
as they should be.
So nothing
Yeah.
gets hacked. I was like, you lying scumbags. They're just like, oh, I hope no one hacks this thing. Someone would. That's horrible. I'd rather just mail it in.
Yeah.
Because I went in there to do it the first time ever, which was Trump and Hillary presidential, and then the rest of the people. I didn't do my research. I'll leave
I
it to
voted
that.
twice now, and I'm pretty glad.
You are?
I voted for Romney. I didn't really want him, but I mean, I didn't like Obama. Literally because in high school, I was the fat kid, and she made it to where I couldn't get seconds. I had to get the fruit and vegetables. I'm not a damn rabbit. I'm a big beefy kid.
Get a pack
That's why I voted for
Yeah.
Romney at 18. I voted for
That
Romney.
took all of us out of the Obama presidency.
Still mad about
We
that.
were young. We were
Yeah,
like,
we were in middle school, and like they were saying like, oh yeah, you finally got to middle school where you can get a snack bar. Yeah, the snack bar is gone. Thanks, Michelle Obama.
Snack bar's gone.
Yeah.
And like,
But
Fuck your grapes.
I thought that was
Michelle
so
Obama.
funny because
Fuck
like,
your grapes.
I still remember, like, was it Polaroids or something that they were? Well, we were in different schools, I guess.
yeah.
But at our school, I swear to goodness, it was like a mural of like Romney and then Obama, and then it was.
Can I have
And it was like our Polaroids or pictures of like where they put you, and I'm like, well, that didn't seem kind of fair.
Oh yeah, like
Just on display for the rest of the school, you're like, oh, I voted over here.
No,
You-
Right then and
no,
there, I knew I was
we
a
did get to go
Republican.
like vote and like fake vote
we fake voted.
in the ballot or whatever. And I think Obama won in ours.
Ours too.
But the year before Bush won.
Granted, we were middle school kids.
I-
Or
like,
right then and there, when
middle
they
school
took away
kid.
my seconds, I was born to be a Republican.
I remember doing it like back in when Bush's second term came up, and we did that even then.
Did we?
Yeah, in Paola, I remember. Like, I
I was
voted.
in Georgia. Fighting a gator and whatnot.
Girls is what it was back in the day, I guess.
Yeah, chasing girls on the playground.
See, I was on a 3G
Getting punched in
network.
the throat in the playground is what happened to me. I got punched in the throat.
I was on a
I'm
3G
like,
network in high
it's
school.
just a game. He just jabbed me right in the fucking throat.
3G network for me. My Grand National, girls and guitars. That was my 3G network. That's what I live by. That's what I stand by.
You said
In high school, yeah.
Did you mean like 3G, like cell phone signal?
Yeah, that's what I was in high
Okay.
school. I was 3G.
I was like,
I
that
had
was
my
something
Grand
like-
National. I had girls and guitars. Anything else wasn't irrelevant.
I mean, that was a
It
great
wasn't
pun.
relevant.
I
Yeah.
just thought you said 3G and then you just made that up. I'm like,
No,
that's
that was
cell-
my
cell phone.
my Grand
buddy.
National because that car was bitching. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that was it was cool.
we'll
It was a
take
cool car. I don't care what
Take
you
a look
say.
at it now, okay? Because I got in my car and I said, piece of shit. So
Dude,
now,
you can't find my car anywhere. You can't find a Grand National like mine. They're super rare to come by. And I daily drove that thing until I was like 21.
and then what?
I blew it up. You know me. That's not the point, damn it.
Take care of your items,
That's
people.
the third
Take care of your
one.
cars.
Don't race everything, okay? Ford Focuses, Ford Tauruses weren't made to race. Your Camry ain't fast. Go home.
Unless it's got a Hemi in it.
A Hemi and a Yaris or what?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Why would,
Hey, don't
how would
knock
you,
my Camry.
You put a Hemi in a Camry.
She's a beautiful car.
That'd be
Versus,
sick.
Versus
Sure.
a beautiful one.
Would
you
that
just get a
work?
Volkswagen Jetta. You already wear your sister's clothes.
I'm wearing
Oh,
I'm wearing
hell.
workout tights, okay?
Hold on.
Also, that
I
was
need to do
horrible.
this.
I don't know. I said we used to go to the gym a lot, but I went back there today because I saw they charged my account. I said that means they're open, and I went back there. I'm weak as hell. Like I was like, I'll just do these again. Nope. I went down the line until I got to one that I could lift, and I'm like, I guess I'll just do these now. I had to do 12 of them. Got to 6. Like it's horrible.
And you know we used to be able to bench. You know how much we used to be able to bench press?
225.
All of them. We could bench press all of them back in the day.
The minute I hit 225, and the next week it was like coronavirus, lockdown, no more. I said, but I just got here. I was so happy. You spotted me. You go, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. And I was like, I finally did it. And then now,
My biggest I hit 350, but I weighed 320, so I couldn't do a pull-up to save my ass. But I could pretty near throw a truck. All right, I was the guy you wanted on Jurassic Park.
Do you remember picking up Caleb Hecker's car for Young Life and putting it up on the sidewalk?
what? What kind of youth group did you guys go to, bro? I learned about Jesus in my youth group. I didn't do chores.
We didn't do shit. Really, like we literally just
we
like
did a few prayer things.
we just goofed around like a lot.
That sounds like the youth group I had when I was
Like
in sixth
Caleb
grade.
Hecker had this like used to be like a close like family friend, and then like moved to Osawatomie, and he like somehow was at the same youth group. Yeah, he showed up in this like gold like.
It was gold and
It's
black
like a
for
Geo
Paola.
or something. It was like a
Yeah.
really tiny little car, you know, like.
Oh, mercy.
And he,
For
you
those
know
of
how
you
big
listening in high school.
Caleb
Yeah.
Caleb
yeah,
is.
and he was like, he's my Geo.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was like me, Jordan, Alex,
Yeah, Alex, I missed that.
and
That thing was huge.
He's a youth
he's
pastor
so
now.
huge, and like a bunch of us, like there was like 6 of us, and we just all lifted up the back end of his car and just put it up on the sidewalk.
For those of you listening and still in high school, you only need 3 people to lift a Geo Metro. 3, all right? We overdid it with 6, but we didn't want to pull a hamstring or anything. You only need 3 people to lift a Geo Metro.
Yeah,
To the curb, move it over there.
You only need 3.
Young Life was crazy. Shout out Ryan DeBach.
Shout out to you, Ryan DeBach.
But yeah,
And this story, by the way, allegedly. That way, if there's any hard feelings about the elusive Geo Metro, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that car is cherry. They don't make them anymore. It's classic, all right? If there's any hard feelings about there, we're saying allegedly. We're not confirming or denying the moving of a Geo Metro.
It was like
Oh, this is so easy.
it was like
Let's go.
it was like spray painted gold, and like
I remember that car. I was like, what kind of piece of crap is that?
If you had baggy enough shorts, you could put it in your pocket and walk off. It's that small of a car, right? You know, it's not even considered a motorcycle. It's that lightweight. You don't need insurance for it. It's
a
not even
sidecar
car.
for a motorcycle.
Exactly.
Hook up. Here we go.
It's like the Urkel-mobile. It's got one seat. You know, if you roll them, they don't break. I heard that.
What?
Yeah. I heard if you roll them, they don't break. I heard if you roll them, you can just flip them back over. Like they don't. I don't know how they did that, but
Gently
they're like
Buzzed
an egg.
podcast is not responsible for any loss or damage of your Geo.
Thank you.
Or other vehicles. Don't be tipping vehicles.
But that being said,
car
you
by
only
the
need
back
3
end,
people.
it's lighter
You need
than the
3
Geo.
people only to pick up a Geo Metro. Ford Focuses or Ford Escorts are a little bit trickier than that. You're gonna need about 8 people for that. All right. And if it's older than
What's the lightest car to pick up? Like, what would be like
It
the
is.
lightest car?
if it's
Oh,
80s and
yeah,
older,
yeah.
you can't pick it up by hand. All right. Now 90s cars, I got a lot of them. Ford Festiva, you can do it with about 5 people. Okay. Volkswagen
A Kia
Rabbit.
Forte, you could probably do like 4 people. Just
Volkswagen
like one
Rabbit?
on each wheelbase. And
Volkswagen Rabbit. You can
I'm
do it
just
with
thinking
about
of this
6
title right
people.
now.
You
This
know what I mean?
podcast when we mentioned
But a Geo Metro, you only need 3 people to pick up it. You could put it on a trailer. You could put it in the bathroom. You can do anything with it. That's what's great about it.
But I know that we're talking about another stereotype. You said Alex is a pastor now? Youth pastor?
oh, is he?
Yeah, I went to a church in Ottawa. Yeah, I got pulled over. It's Ottawa.
That's where I learned how to
Every
do my
time.
driver's test.
Ottawa?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
He was some kind of youth pastor now. He is killing it as an adult.
Oh,
Yeah, he
dude,
really-
he was
he's
always
killing
just like
it.
the sweetest dude. Like, always
Yeah.
kind of seemed like he had something
He
figured out.
slimmed down from being a big bodybuilder because he's probably focused more on his school. And his
He's
ministry.
still big.
Oh, he still is big.
He's still big.
Maybe I'm a liar.
I remember, oh man, poor Alex. I remember during one of the youth group things we were getting in, leaving Ryan's house to go to McDonald's or something like, and this is when planking was really big,
Oh yeah.
and my fat ass went out and tried to plank on Alex's Firebird,
Oh no.
or no, I think it was Grand Prix,
And you were like, what?
and I like planked on it and I like dented the fuck out of his roof.
Oh no.
Alex
Oh
could
my
pick up a
God.
Geo Metro, one in each hand. He could walk. He's
He
big
could-
enough. He could walk away with
He
2
could
of them.
curl Geo Metros.
He could walk away with 2 of them, bro.
No, I'm grabbing the 30s at the gym. Like maybe do 6 of them.
How many push-ups can Alex do? All of them.
All
He can
of
do.
them?
He can do all of them. Yeah. Like save some coolness for the rest of us.
The ground
That was
pushes
something
him.
else that I realized too really quickly. Like we were. So when I went to go see my pastor after, when
You didn't die from COVID.
right. But no, me and my son's mother, we went split up and went different ways. I went to go see my pastor, and I'll never forget this moment because it really opened my eyes as a young adult. You think that you're like pastor, youth pastor, preacher, whoever is like, it just you think he's more perfect than you for whatever because he's on the podium every Sunday or whatever. In my mind, you think, okay, that's someone appointed here, but then you realize when you go to talk to that person in like a podcast scenario, they're just like you. Because I went in there and one pastor was like, yeah, he was trying to describe a way in the Bible, and I went to talk to him, he goes, well, that's bullshit. Like in his office, and I was like, wait, you say bad words? He's like, I'm a person. Like, he goes, I love science, I love Jesus, I mix them together, and I make a good, coherent. It was just weird to kind of feel that way, because every time I would go into.
Are you okay, by the way? This is the first time I've ever heard you cuss.
No, it's not. I did it earlier, and I was thinking about
Oh
it
man,
today.
you cussed. That's $1 in the swear jar for you.
Oh yeah,
Well, it's like-
let's please get a swear jar for the podcast. I'm gonna be like,
Have you ever heard him cuss? He does it under his breath. When he'll go, son of a. You know. He called me a
Well,
poop spackled Muppet fart one time, and I'm like,
no,
okay.
because I haven't straight up seen you guys since like
Forever
fucking
ago,
like
I know.
what, like 7th grade, like
Yeah.
maybe like a couple times since then,
Yeah.
like but not really since I moved.
No, it was when you left school.
Yeah,
It had to be when you left school, because then I was like, you're leaving? You're moving?
yeah.
I'm like, what about our business with our tech decks?
Like literally just like my parents were like, we're moving to Osawatomie.
10.
For those of you that don't know, Tanner is our guest speaker. The introduction was lost on the previous video, but
Oh, yeah.
he's our sponsor with his new skate company called
Let's see.
Lit state.
Lit State. The littest state out there, okay? If you're going to buy any skateboarding equipment, you'll want it from Lit State. Believe me. He's also a childhood friend, real big into marketing. Dude's killing it right now as an adult.
Well, that's also how I got a hold, like, I heard about you again. So, like, I knew you moved away. Never heard from you again. Knew you went to Pittsburgh. Was like, okay, I guess we're never going to meet each other again. And then I go, what the hell's Lit State? And then people were, like, sharing clothing and material. And I was like, Tanner Loveland? Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he's killing it out here.
No.
And then I was like, we have to talk to him. And then now we're here. But this one's actually recording. So
Okay.
And now I'm gently buzzed.
that's
Damn
right.
straight. And for those of you considering whether to go with Lit State or DC, let me put it to you this way. All right.
DC,
if you throw in an extra $20,
well,
will
DC
DC
makes
play
shoes,
saxophone for
but,
you?
you know.
Because Tanner will.
Dude, remember DC
Well,
was the
DC
shit back
I'll
in the
play
day?
some
Dude, it
very
was.
terrible saxophone for you because I haven't played since a long time.
We'll have a PS5.
But DC won't
Yeah.
even do that. They won't.
No, I'll
if you
do
buy from
all
them,
my.
they won't play
I
saxophone.
will do
He
all of
will.
my saxophone playing on the PS5 from now on. Just check me out on the Saxman Network.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be the dumbest question. So DC, that's Rob Dyrdek?
No,
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah.
I see a bunch of DC
It's
stuff.
Rob
that-
Dyrdek and Ken Block.
he wrote for DC, but he doesn't like own it. Or
He owns a
might
big
own
share
like
of it.
a share, but like he doesn't have any creative or
Because every
Ken
time
Block
I see DC,
does.
I always see his
Ken Block
face.
invented it, I think.
yeah. DC is
'Cause
cool.
that was a shit back in
I like DC shoes a lot, but I think right now I've been riding these like Vans
Remember Eddie's
Vans
really shit back in the day.
slip-ons.
They're not sponsoring
That's
us.
pretty cool.
We're wearing homemade shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish.
I'm not.
Give us money, or we're wearing homemade shoes from now on.
They're just
Yeah.
moccasins.
Yeah, we got clogs and moccasins. The best skate shoes
I
you
made
got.
the wooden shoes.
I go out there with pants and a smile on my face. I don't even wear shoes, okay? I don't wear shirts either.
Shit. What's on the
Unless
list
they're
here?
made by Lit
That was
State.
just all talking about.
Is this from last time?
Yeah, that's just any entrepreneurial stuff we were talking about. So I kind of got into the area of where I figured, at least for us, I looked at, the other generations. I'm like, okay, back then it worked for them to work and have the pension and to do that. That worked for them. Generation with our parents, it worked a little bit, but it wasn't working the way that they wanted to, like with their parents. And then with us, we were like, shit's not working anymore. We got to do a whole new plan. It's up to us.
Yeah, I saw.
do you
The weight's
know-
on our
I
shoulders.
saw something the other day that just said you're not free until you work for yourself,
For real.
and like that's kind of where I want to get to. I don't need $1 billion or anything. I just need to survive. I need to
Exactly.
be able to afford some food and like a nice place to live and
Well, I don't.
like.
You know why
that's
money went
about
further
it.
back then? What I think?
What?
No cell phone bill, no Wi-Fi. They didn't watch a lot of
Oh,
TV.
it's simpler than that, dude. I think they understood the value of the simplest things in life. Because
Exactly.
the more that I gut things from my life, it's just all about, like for example, the key things is like my son and time together, because he's growing older and I'm not gonna get that time back. And we had movie night and like shit like that was like really important. And just the time, he didn't care what we had in the house. He didn't care what was on. We had a TV, a pallet, and a living room.
Because they don't know. They're learning.
Exactly.
Like, whatever you have in the house when you're growing up, like that's what you're gonna think and like want in your house. Like when you grow up, like
Right.
like I didn't realize it. Like my parents were into some like weird like 1840 Mountain Man reenactment shit when I was a kid. Like
Could you go in depth in that?
go into depth with it. Okay, so like
what were they into? What'd you find, Tanner?
so like
We found Mama and Papa's secret stash.
they-
Mountain Man?
uh,
I prefer the term Appalachian.
they were just
American.
like they were into like just going out and camping like you would in the old days. And it's like a whole group of people that likes to go and camp
Oh, they would just go and
in a
reenact
specific
Gotcha,
like
okay.
not even like reenacting. You just kind of, like I guess reenacting like you dress in that time period. You don't. And like you have to start your fire in that time period. You can't like use like lighter fluid and like
Oh,
Dang.
pioneer, like old
That's-
settlers.
yeah, it's like like
That's
old
awesome.
settler shit. And like So I just like we always grew up fishing and camping, and so I like that's something like as I get older, not miss, but like I like doing that stuff. I like being outside. So like,
Right.
but like as far as like my parents used to take me hunting and stuff. I'm more like chill. I kind of like I like hammocking. Like I like taking like my hammock out to the park and setting it up.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
I definitely rather sleep than hunt. It just happens. I'm
Alright, yeah.
10, I'm fall asleep.
Or like
I'm like so calm.
I'll hunt.
or like
Well, I'll
just
hunt,
going.
Yeah.
but
I
I'll
went
fall asleep.
I like
disc golfing the other day with my friend Cooper, and like we went out to the Rosedale Park up in Kansas City,
Never been.
and it's a sick park. Like they have like it's like down through these valleys and peaks, and like
Have you been disc golfing?
and you can just like
Have you been disc golfing?
get some really good views. It's sick.
Not in a long time. I did it a couple times, but I was like getting a ride home. The guys were real competitive in the disc golfing. I'm more of a bowler.
We'll make plans.
I like bowling too.
I love bowling. If coronavirus keeps me from bowling,
When
I will find a way.
when I get
I
back
bowled
to
last week.
when I get back to work, I get discounts. At,
I'm so sorry.
Are you kidding me?
I bowled in Oklahoma. It was horrible, but we bowled in Oklahoma.
I get discounts at main event, so you guys don't have to come bowl.
I don't think you
Yes.
guys. No, seriously. You went bowling without me?
Yeah, hold on a minute. I'll answer your question after this question. Yeah, so the bowling alley we went to sucked because they didn't do the Cosmic. They just said we're here for Cosmic, and they said, yeah, we're not doing that today. They didn't turn any of the lights on
Because of the coronavirus, you can't have cosmic bowling anymore.
for whatever reason.
That makes
So
sense,
we went
right.
to main event, and we had a fun ass time. Spent a lot more money than I thought I would, but yeah, we had a fun ass time.
Yeah.
We get discounts on bowling?
I get half off everything, like for me and 6 people. Like,
When do you want to
Holy-
go?
like literally any
Yeah.
night that I can.
What are you doing?
I've
this
got my
weekend?
own ball. Like, I'm prepared.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I have my own shoes.
Okay, that's it.
We're going. We're no longer doing the
Bye.
podcast.
No.
Have fun.
But no, it was just I forgot what I was saying about bowling. What did I say before bowling?
Uh,
Oh, kid thing. So yeah, so I was looking at the movement. They call it you can call it the minimalist movement or the FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early movement, that kind of thing.
That's not going to catch on.
yeah, I'm trying to retire early.
Me too.
I don't want to be working for the rest of my life.
I can make it super simple for
I mean,
you.
I
gotta
do,
get bored of it,
but
and-
like, I want to be working on shit I want to work on. You know, like,
Exactly.
I don't want to be working for somebody for the rest.
Like
of
I
my life.
said, it's funny because in America you think the goal is the $1 million house, the Audi in the garage, and this and that. But those people are still
No.
super unhappy.
No, give me the car that gets me from point A to point B.
Exactly.
Give me lots of alcohol. Like, gotta numb the
Copious.
pain of
Weed if you have it, apparently.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Just no limits.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We're not confirming or denying.
allegedly.
I've never done it in my life. But it's just
I
like...
mean,
I
you
definitely
call it
have.
whatever you want. It's as simple as this. You get rid of all the shit you don't need, all the shit that society tells you you need. Get rid of that.
Get rid of nicotine.
For example, the house in the neighborhood that you need, the car to match the neighbors, all that shit is just it's horse shit.
No, yeah.
And as
it's-
soon as you get rid of that, you feel
it's,
so much better.
It's marketing.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
What's your degree in
really?
Tanner?
What is your
Marketing.
okay, good.
Yeah, no, I really do. I get caught up in all that shit. Like, I watch one of my favorite shows, like, growing up with Bar Rescue. And, like,
Yep.
it's just so funny. Like, I love, like, watching people, like, fuck up business models and shit. Like you're not even trying. Like, you're just renting out this place and you just put a bunch of shit in it and opened up. Like,
Your
you
favorite
didn't
show was
fucking
Rocket
put
Power.
any
Don't
thought.
even.
Like, you didn't even put any thought into what the hell you were doing. Like,
Right.
that's me and my friend Cooper. We were hanging out the other day, and our biggest like takeaway from like hanging out the whole afternoon was just think about your actions, like whether they're good or bad. Sit and think about what you do. If you smoke cigarettes, think about why you smoke cigarettes. If you don't think that Black Lives Matter, sit and think why you don't think Black Lives Matter. Like, think for yourself.
Right.
Like, don't get all your ideas from Fox. Oh, Fox News says Black lives don't matter because of
Ooh.
the dude was scary and big and he outweighed the cop by 300 pounds. Like, that. Like, what does that matter? Like, sit and think
Cop's got a gun,
About-
taser, bulletproof vest.
about what happened and what you're doing to make it not happen again. You know, like, we
Well,
all
yeah.
have to take actions to make sure things like this don't continue to
I
happen.
know I mention this all the time, but it's such good material because he's the number one. Do you know a guy named Tim Pool?
Mm.
The independent.
Yeah, I seen him on like the Joe Rogan podcast and his own podcast. He has a podcast too.
Yeah, dude, he worked for like I don't know if it wasn't.
We'll
CNN.
give you that freebie. We like the Joe Rogan podcast.
We do.
I'll
Joe
give you that
Rogan,
one.
We love you, Joe Rogan. Okay, thank you.
Everything else is lit state only.
If you find this, somehow mention us or whatever. But he was talking about how they skew the news specifically towards, like at one point
either side.
Yeah, he was told to do it for us. He goes, so you'd rather have me report? He goes, I want you to report stories for young 20-something people about this. He goes, but I have a story with facts about this. He goes, yeah, don't do that. He goes, you're telling me directly not to do the story with facts, legitimate evidence, and independent video that I've taken, and do a story about millennial blah blah blah. He goes, yeah, pretty much. And he goes, that's when I quit immediately. He goes, that's when I left. That's when I did independent. You know what?
Yeah, like I'm not making $1 billion like doing lit state. Like I'm making affordable products that I want to see my friends wear, and like I want to wear. Like that's it. Like that's all it is. Like I'm not trying to get rich. Like I'm doing it because it's fun as hell. And like,
well, I think that's also why we're better than the generations, not necessarily before us, but like once we get farther away from the marketing, the materialism, and it's not that necessarily we have to, but I feel like,
yeah, that's
not that I'm forced to, but like shit gets more expensive.
That's why I'm trying to use my marketing for
good instead of evil.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, really, like,
yeah.
I'm working with a nonprofit called After Action Network right now. It's a nonprofit working with veterans to just bring them the help.
Thank you, sir.
Help and programs that they need and want to, get back to a normal life or a happier, better life or.
Which is awesome.
Just like
just to be a part of that.
Yeah, no, it really is, and like all those guys are amazing to talk to and be around. Just knowledgeable people. They've been stationed all over the world, and like they're just veterans that have been injured or have been in the military and want to help other veterans. And like whether you support wars or you whatever, like the people who go and fight for this country, like they're doing just that. Like
right.
They feel the need that they have to protect what we know and what America stands for, and like
right.
we should always support them, always support people. That's
right.
That's the biggest thing. Like I don't necessarily agree with all the things that the military does or that the American government does, but like the people behind it, like they're good people that are trying to do something positive with their
right.
life, and they deserve. Like the army, basically, they break, or not just the army, like the military, they have to break your psyche for you to be able to go do the things that they're asking you, and to come back to normal life. Like they need help, or not always need help, but like sometimes it's always nice to have help,
right.
to know that somebody's there, and like they may not know what you've gone through, but they care that you've gone through it and they want you to succeed. And that's basically just what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to bring what these guys' vision is and just bring the veteran community and weave it into the overall community of Kansas City and of the United States in general. But basically we have a database on afteractionnetwork.org, and it puts all of the veterans programs out there in one place, so people can go on there and find it, and just make it more accessible for everybody. And basically we're trying to right now just work with other veterans programs so if we have a black disabled veteran that needs help, we can send them to this program that works specifically with that need. Or we have someone that's someone who's lost an arm. Like there's a special arm like place. Like anything like that. Like there's tons of programs out there, and basically we just put them all in one place for people to get to. But yeah, I love what they're doing, and basically I'm just getting out, putting their stuff out on social media platforms, and
they're
trying to
called
help
what
when I
again?
can. After Action Network.
After Action Network.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really cool
That's good
organization.
cause.
They have working on getting some spots downtown to like open up yoga studios and like places where people can go in and learn how to do T-shirts or do printing or many other
Well, I know who
things.
could run that shop. Bingo.
Yeah.
So put down that
So-
fatty burger and instead use that $2 to put towards After Action.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great cause. You can go on our website or Facebook and donate if
Well,
you
and
feel
I'm
so
actually-
obligated.
I'm glad that you're involved in that because it's. I asked this question and I asked it to a couple of people and I always get the same answer. I kind of want to see how you guys react to it. So, like every time, again, not knocking veterans or war or anything that they've done, because a majority of my family, my uncles, my grandpas, everyone's been in war. Okay, World War II, Vietnam, Afghanistan War, they've been there. They've gone through a bunch of stuff. It's hard, but I always like to compare that people are people, and even though we're born here and they're born there, I like to put myself in the perspective of if I imagine me born over there, raised with a different set of morals over there than here. It's just that's why I don't think I'm meant for any kind of military combat per se, because I would think about that very actively. I would think you're like me, you were just born over there and raised to think that, and I'm born here in America, raised to think this. I can relate to people on a whole like that level, and it makes it very tough. And a lot of people can take that and they can block it out. They usually go, no, that's not true. It's very different over there. They're very different. They think this way. I'm like, yeah, but they're
not.
They're all a kid.
They're not that different. Like,
They're a kid. They're raised a certain way, just like we're raised a certain way. They're born over there with Islam law. I don't.
Everybody drinks beer and gets their junk stuck in the zipper sometimes. They're just human.
Exactly.
Everybody does that.
You use
Just like us.
Do you use the zipper?
I've got my junk stuck in a zipper, yeah. Who hasn't? Everyone does.
Oh, I guess I did. Yeah.
See? You,
Oh,
Tanner.
Well, I was gonna say I
Oh,
never use
probably.
the zipper.
Probably.
He said, so drunk you can't remember.
Get out, you alien. Get out.
But I like to. It's just that I like that kind of deep question, that deep thought is like we're the same, but we're just
you just raised on a
farther
different
apart.
part of the world.
way different. And a lot of people, legit, the most common answer is block it out. They go, "Oh no, they're way worse than
No,
me."
it's
They're
all it
way
is
different.
perspective, like that on everything. Like even like arguments with my girlfriend that are just dumb. Like it's all because like, she saw something one way and I saw it another way.
Right.
You know, and then we talk about it, and then we're like, oh yeah, like I just was thinking this, and you were just thinking this, and like
Except for them, they have tanks behind them.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's really good and evil like that. I think there's just two opposing views.
Yeah.
Always. Except
Well,
for really in
this
Star
is a great
Wars.
Answer. I never get this answer.
Hey,
Where are these people?
Except for in Star Wars where they're like, oh, light side, dark side. Obviously the dark side's the bad one. I think
Isn't
that if
there
they
an
would have
in-between
made it,
anyways?
But
There's not.
that's what
That's not canon.
That's what the
In-between
new
is
one.
not
That's
canon.
what the
There's
new
no great
movie
Jedi.
gets into is like when like Rey has the orange lightsaber. Like it's like
The in-between?
it's the like
I don't support the new movies. I don't support communism, and I don't
Well, no,
support the new Star Wars
it's
movies.
canon because you can find it in canon that was written. But like, was it the gray? They're called the
If you
gray
haven't
Jedi.
wa-
right?
if you
Those
haven't-
aren't canon. They're not real.
if you haven't seen
Somebody
the
made
Clone
it up on
Wars,
Pinterest.
watch the Clone Wars
Somebody made it up on Pinterest.
and Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. They get into like the Jedi Sentinel stuff and like
Yes.
the guys that like they're there to protect the Force. They're not like just that. Like they're not Jedi and they're not Sith. You know, they're just Force sensitive
protect the-
beings to protect the Force. Like
In between.
yeah, and that's what I think. That's
Well,
what Rey's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, it's over. It doesn't matter.
They're going to
Thanks
continue
for
with
that.
Rey and Finn.
You can't.
And all
So they
this.
can't.
You can't. There's no
yeah.
more Force.
Well, not that. The
No more
Disney
nothing.
canceled that contract, so they're gonna. So now they're gonna have a new Star Wars segment.
No, George.
So all 9 of those are gonna be a separate entity. Then they're gonna do another whole separate.
Like what? Not so long ago in a galaxy
Just
a
keep
little
giving
closer.
me more Mandalorian.
There we go.
And
Thank
more
you. Season 2.
Mandalorian-esque things. John Favreau, keep working. Like,
That's
you're not
really
allowed to
Terrific.
retire.
We'll
ever.
give you that one. We'll give you that
They
one.
signed him to a 3-movie Star Wars deal.
They need to sign him to a lifetime contract.
Dude, he did.
John
Iron
Favreau
Man.
is
He
not
did-
allowed to do anything except for movies for the rest of his life.
Put him on the
He's
Walk
a
of Fame
genius.
again. Give him another set of footprints in there. Give him
No,
another star on the boardwalk.
give him something more like meaningful. Give him like a fucking island. I don't know.
It's crazy how
Give him
Give
the
him a
Virgin
Mount
Mobile
Rushmore.
Island.
Give him and George Lucas a Mount Rushmore. All right.
Well, it's funny because I never heard of him until
He was
Like-
always like the douchebag. in
like 4
movies.
years ago. Yeah, he was always the douchebag in movies.
No, he was.
The bodyguard, like he's happy. He was
Yeah.
kind of an ass in Iron Man. Turns out he was the main producer for Iron Man.
He is a smug genius.
Did he direct it? He directed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of stuff that he's done in
The
movies.
Jungle
and I'm
Book.
like, John Favreau.
The
did-
Jungle Book was the first one where I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
Is it?
Like, John Favreau made the new Jungle Book. It's
See, I haven't seen it.
incredible.
I haven't seen that either.
It's amazing.
Is it on Netflix?
It's so good. Probably no, it's probably on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Oh, the one that came out like a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's
See, I just
so
use
good.
my Disney Plus for The Simpsons.
People said that.
Since it's so good.
People said that wasn't very good.
They're lying. Like,
Everybody
that
thinks the
movie's
new
so good.
Jungle Book was good. Everybody gets their junk stuck in a zipper, and everybody drinks beer. All right,
Hey man.
they're just like you. They're people too.
I mean, everyone but Chase sitting over there sipping his Corona,
Yeah, I finished
slacking
my
a
other
little
stuff.
bit.
Allegedly, Corona. We're not endorsing you.
Yeah,
Until you give us money.
Unless you want to.
John Favreau, we'll give you that one. We'll give you the Joe Rogan podcast. Everything else, pay us, okay?
But no, that's all my topics I had to cover. And honestly, the shocker was the answer for the war scenario. Because a lot of people, despite contrary belief, don't believe that. They're like, oh no, they're way different sect of human beings. I'm like, they're still a fucking person. Like, it's totally...
They are.
Anyway, I'm
They're a
just glad you
person.
guys agree
No,
with
that's
me.
one of the-
Dude. Speaking of Star Wars,
Yeah, let's roll. Like, I saw your screensaver. You got the Millennium
The Yo-
Falcon.
I can do
the
Star
Yoda-
Wars
the-
we need a
comics
Star Wars
all
episode.
the Yoda
day.
quote where he's like, "Fear turns to hatred. Hatred breeds." You know, like
When he talks to Anakin.
when he's talking to Anakin, like that shit hits so hard because it is
Like
so
It is, and
true.
what-
Like people
Yeah.
people are ignorant of another language, so they can't understand what someone else is saying. So everyone's so self-conscious they automatically think they're talking about them or that they care about what they're doing or whatever.
Right.
And so then that breeds hatred for that or fear that
Right.
they're judging, which
Oh, what are they doing?
which
Oh,
breeds
look what they're
hatred
saying.
for that person, and that leads to the darkness. That leads to you just being a shitty person
George
and
Lucas,
never
you're a genius.
changing. Like, dude, it really
You're a
is.
genius.
I love Star Wars. Like George Lucas, you're an amazing human being. I don't know what you do in
Like I
the
said,
shadows,
movies,
but
he was pissed.
oh, dude,
Dude,
he's
I'd
got to
be
be
too.
pissed about the
He
new
was
movie.
super
I got-
upset. He goes, "You fucking."
I got
ruined
bullied
my
in high
movie."
school.
They spoiler
Or middle
alert
school.
brought back Palpatine in the last movie with no evidence of him ever being around in the last three.
Son of a...
It's a horrible. Well, okay. I do not blame the first movie with Rey. Okay,
It's okay.
it was okay. It had
It got,
potential.
it got me
Wrong.
excited for Star Wars again.
Yes, J.J. Abrams, good job.
It angered
Then they gave it to why would they give it to a different person to direct? Because he purposely went a different direction.
Because they're dumb.
He was like, "Oh, we're gonna go this way." He goes, "Oh, let's just hook it right here and go back around."
Well, have you
and
read
then
the
he had
books?
to pull it out of his ass.
We're gonna have
Have you
Luke,
read the
who
books, though?
literally ran to the island to get away from all the darkness, and then all of a
No.
sudden became not a Jedi.
In the books, he doesn't go to the island to get away from the darkness. In the books, I read the books. I got bullied in middle school for reading the books, which now no longer matter and are no longer canon. But here's my two-piece on that, okay? He doesn't go to hide from everybody. He goes there to train the next wave of Jedi. There was a shortage of Jedi ever since Execute Order
Oh,
66.
I guess that's
he goes there
the-
to train
Well,
people in
he
the
did
mountains.
it in the movie.
Yeah, I
With
guess
his
that's what he
wife.
did in the movie.
Which is against the Jedi Code, but he has a wife, Mara Jane. He has two kids, Jason and Jana. All right. Jason being the douchebag name of the day. His son's name is Jason. Even in space, it was a douchebag name. But those are his
so glad this
kids.
is
They're the
filming you
next
right now.
generation of Jedi. They are, okay? And then they have their own stories, you know. Like there's Anakin Jr., you know. Like there's so much depth in there. Chewie dies, but it's glorious, you know. Like he saves
There's
everybody.
like a whole another branch of Skywalkers.
There's several generations
Well,
of
that's the whole
Skywalker,
thing.
and they're just like, well, Rey, pull her out of the woodwork. Well, no more
She's
kids.
now a
Well,
Skywalker too.
Well, that's
everybody got divorced. Everybody bullshit made no
It was a quick way to kill it. They wanted to kill Skywalkers and start fresh.
You
So
killed
they
my
get-
dreams.
so
That's
they
what you
killed-
killed.
So they killed the Skywalkers. Okay, Skywalkers.
Unless they do
so-
something like Mandalorian, like the new movies are not gonna work.
No.
Not gonna work.
They have to completely start fresh. No fucking lightsabers. No shit. Like just literally start as. Well,
the only way
well,
to have
Oh,
to
like New Hope, like start with like Luke, like a new.
it's got to be a
Completely-
new take on the whole thing. Like the Mandalorian, completely fresh. Like, you know, Baby
Beautiful.
Yoda, like never. You know, like we didn't know there was any more Yodas out there.
Right, exactly.
Like-
It's a
Yeah,
whole
we
new-
do. Because in the second movie, there's Yendel.
Okay, but yeah, Yaddle. But
Yaddle,
she's
that's
gone.
what it was,
She's
Yaddle.
gone now.
What?
She's like disappeared.
They never showed her die. She could
I-
be pulling
I-
a Luke, training Jedi in the
No,
mountains. You
she
never fucking
disappeared
know.
during the Order 66 stuff. Like after the Order 66,
Oh.
she didn't come.
Remember
She didn't come back.
Well, I'm still confused because what they're hard to breed. I tried to look Yodas up. I tried to Google them, and
What?
it didn't give me a whole lot of information.
Well, apparently he wants them to be like mysterious and like.
Oh, free
I think they're just
interpretation.
born
Yeah.
old.
John Favreau, interpret as much as
No,
you want.
Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets, and his son, also named Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets. Again, thank you for coming up with those characters for Star Wars. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have had Yoda at all.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, the Muppets and Star Wars and all those characters, Jim Henson came up with what Yoda looked like. I'm pretty sure Yoda was a Muppet. The original Yoda was a Muppet. You can look that up. Jim Henson had a lot of it. He used his Muppets for a lot of the aliens.
all of the Star Wars stuff was like reused
And, like,
stuff from
secondhand
other
Yeah.
movies.
shit,
Like all of the guns in
But he
there
did
were like
great in that.
reused Nazi weapons.
And the
From World War
uniforms
II.
were judged after with the high boots and
Well, that was intentional. Yeah, Vader was supposed to be,
Very Hitler-esque.
I don't like communism. The only good commie is a dead commie.
I don't know why, but in my mind, I just imagine Darth Vader seeing where his the door comes down, he goes to walk out, and it's just Trump, okay, and he just
Dude,
comes down.
dude,
You,
I watched the
They're just doing it.
He's more of like the fun
Coronavirus,
uncle running. That's how I see it.
I got done
see
skating
more as a
yesterday.
fun
Gargle the
uncle.
bleach, gargle the bleach.
That's hilarious, by the way. People can't take a joke. That's
40% of
Darwinism.
Americans did it. That's how stupid we are. They were like, yep, I eat my dinner and then I gargle some bleach and I feel really good. I go, you
Oh my god.
idiot. You.
We literally watched.
You make fun of us for our Tide Pod challenge. You make fun of us for that, but you're gargling bleach because the president told you to, as a joke. He even said, "This is a joke, okay?"
He was dead serious, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
He was dead serious.
No way, no.
That
You
dude
can
drinks
watch
like 8 Cokes a day.
You can
Like-
watch it, bro.
Don't you be
he
putting
doesn't
evil on my
care at all.
Coca-Cola. You get the heck. You know what to do. Don't you be putting that evil on my Coca-Cola.
It was
Ricky
hilarious
Bobby.
because he was like backed in the corner. He goes, okay, just a joke.
gonna
Just
come
wanna
after
see
my
how far
moon
you guys
prize next?
go."
Dude, speaking of jokes, we got done skating yesterday. We went back to my friend's house, and we were watching we just turned on roast on YouTube, and there was one to Donald Trump, like
A roast?
right,
Like an old roast?
yeah, like like the Comedy Central roast,
Yeah, I never watched him
And,
because
like-
I'm like, I feel bad for that dude.
and like there was one on Donald Trump, and it was like right before he started running. It was like 2016, and like he.
Oh, that's gold mine.
But
That's gold mine.
they go all the way through it. Like the whole roast is hilarious. like even Donald Trump's parts where he's like roasting everybody else, like
It's hilarious.
it's hilarious. And then he gets to the end, and he's like, "I'm
He's
running
like-
for president, and like support me and all of this."
Oh.
It does
As a
that
joke?
very end part. No, this is right before he started running. Like it does not age
Wasn't
well
The Rock supposed
at
to
all.
run?
The Rock?
Dude,
Yeah,
I,
Yeah,
see,
The Rock has been trying to run forever.
I saw some.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I saw some-
He's too smart for that.
No, I saw someone post something on Facebook the other day, and it was like Dwayne the Rock Johnson with Stone Cold Steve Austin as vice president, and I shared it. I was like, yeah, no more stimulus checks. Just people get a free 24 pack of the Broken Skull IPA.
You get protein powder instead of stimulus.
course.
Your tax return is supplemented by protein. You get protein powder, the amount of what you would get in your tax return.
And not steroids.
Yeah,
Dude, no way in hell would he do steroids.
The Rock?
He's an Islander.
Oh, dude.
They're big as shit.
Dude.
He's an Islander.
You can do
Look
you
at-
can do testosterone
Yeah,
supplements.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no way
He
he
was
did
doing-
roids.
you
He's
can
an
do- was it
Islander. Come on.
He was
TST?
TRT, I think.
That's not me being
He was
racist,
doing
but I've never
hella
seen a
TR
small Islander.
He was
ever.
doing hella TRT when he did Fast 5. Are you kidding me?
Dude,
he's
he's not on
He's
roids. He's
twice
an
the
Islander.
size.
He's an Islander. It's not
No,
that fish.
he's-
They make him big.
Literally watch him on Fast 5 and then watch him on like WWE like 2 years later. Like it's literally night and day difference. He looks like The Rock from WWE when he's on the wrestling show, and when he's doing Fast 5, he's twice as big. Like,
He's ginormous.
oh my god,
He's an Islander. Come on, Chase, back me up on this. How many small Islanders do you know off the top of your head?
Now,
No, Islanders are big, but like they're also
they're
like
not
huge.
also that big.
they don't have like popping veins out of their body. and
Your
stuff.
body
Like,
only gets to a certain point, and then you have to supplement after.
Well,
Yeah.
he works out like a madman.
That's gonna be body.
He's definitely taking supplements.
His
Like
personal
whether it's
jet even
illegal
has a
supplements or
gym in it.
not, it's
What?
His personal jet he takes everywhere has weights in there. Like he lifts while he's on personal jets going places. Same
I mean,
with his
I know
bus.
that.
Okay, even if he hypothetically, it's not fuck that. Not even hypothetically. This is what he actually does. He eats 8 full-size meals a day. Like plates.
also Joe Rogan even takes TRT. Like,
Yeah, you can.
like it's not illegal if you're not doing professional fights or
Yeah.
like professional athletics. Like
But
it's
don't
completely
do it
fine.
When we're our age, 'cause we'll look huge as fuck.
Oh yeah, but
then
like
we'll
the
go
Rock's
for
like
good testosterone.
the
I'm
Rock's
big
like
enough, man. My body was built by moon pies and Coca-Cola.
how old is the Rock? Like 52, maybe.
He's old. Yeah, he's older.
Like he's in his 50s, right? Like
you have to. There's no way. Once you hit like 40, TRT.
why? Yeah, like why not? Like your body's trying to kill you. Like
Yeah.
take
it's only gonna
some
make you
extra
better.
testosterone and like you'll
Stone. The only people who got in
have
trouble
energy.
was John Jones in the UFC.
yeah. Don't be John Jones. But
I was
like
watching the story of him. He got caught every time.
he
was
got
like,
caught like for
got a
like
belt.
4 fights in a row. Yeah,
Got
like
a belt. Oh, I'm just kidding. Got to be revoked. Got a belt. Oh, got to be revoked because you pissed hot.
but also he's like the fucking best fighter in the world. Like he's so good.
He is.
He's so goddamn good.
I will. UFC, I love to watch, but he's a definite eye gouger.
If they're running out of
Oh.
ideas for UFC and different fighting and sporting events right now, what I would suggest is getting a non-veteran.
Have you not heard
I
of
have never seen people tougher than non-veterans, and then you get like a kid
Non-veterans are
younger than
all 60 and above, bro.
they
Yeah.
are badass, man. I don't know what they did to him in
Okay.
non, but there is not
I'm
one.
telling you right
There
now.
are people from non. that
There's
can
no
whoop my
fighter in
ass.
the UFC over the age of 50.
I'm saying
Well,
not
no.
even UFC. Just like I would watch it if it was like some young kid doing street fighting,
He
and then
invents
some
Ultimate
guy,
UFC. Come on,
dude,
you little punk.
somebody from Nam versus
Bare
somebody our
knuckle
age.
boxing with 60-year-olds. Oh
Dude,
my-
I would watch that all day.
I lo-
They have to be Nam. You got Vietnam Tom, and then you got like some millennial
Have you ever
yoga
seen
guy
Letterkenny?
with the
Yes,
hipster.
We've seen Letterkenny.
What? Yeah, yeah. yeah.
He's like, I'm the toughest guy in Letterkenny. And like,
Yeah.
and then like he gets in the
Just fight everybody.
he gets in the fight with Joint Boy, and like,
I haven't seen
oh, you haven't seen it?
Who's the toughest guy in Letterkenny? That'd be me.
Yeah, dude, that show's great. There's like 7 or 8 seasons. I've seen them all. They're so good. It reminds me of Swatamy so bad.
Well, no, I was gonna say, have you not heard of the? So they were having trouble. So they had UFC 250, and it was a really good card. Now they have. I saw 251. It's in
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi,
On an
and
island.
it's on an island. They call it
Fight Island. It's crazy. Oh, phone died.
That could be a book.
Oh,
Well,
the
it's
phone
about
died.
time anyway.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna say what time. Oh, it's 2:30. All right. Well, this was good. It recorded. So I can post
nice.
it. Yeah, I gotta be pissed off this Corona. But people, we appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in
I've
this
got
episode.
things to do
Thanks for
too.
having me on, guys.
Yeah.
Anytime, bro.
Anytime. Literally, we'll do this on a regular schedule. If Mondays work, they work. Whenever work happens, let me know. So we can schedule recording this. Yeah, it's just fun to do. Here we go.
I'm out.
We out.
Like the Shamrock Shake, I'm gone.
Oh,
I'm with you.